Let me just change it. It should be racial harmony. Racial harmony and multi-faith society, interfaith relationship. Right? These are the topics for today's PPT. Right? And this is 4.3 and 4.1. We have done 4.1. That was about the rights and the human rights. Remember, children, we did it last time. Miss Benish conducted the class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I have done the sin, crime, punishment, and then the capital punishment. We finished the section 3. We went to section 4. In section 4, it was about the rights, about the human rights and the equality, the equal rights. And now we have got 4.3 and 4.4. These two topics are related to each other. So we are going to do it together instead of doing it separately, right? And then it will be left only with one topic, that is 4.5. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll do it and we will complete the specification. And the specification too, that has been long before been completed. Okay, is it like that, children?
Yes, sir.
Fine, very good. So in 4.3, we see multi-ethnic society and racial harmony, and 4.4 is multi-faith society and interfaith relationship. So this is the screenshot of your specification. Say Islamic beliefs, that's what you have to learn. Islamic beliefs, teaching which opposes prejudice and discrimination and help to promote racial harmony with particular reference to the universal nature of the Ummah and examples of racial harmony in Muslim practice. Now you see over here what you need to understand, what you need to study here is that first of all, what are the Islamic teachings? What are the Islamic beliefs? Right? Those teachings which are against being prejudiced, right? For anything, for any reason, and not to discriminate someone. Of course, we know that Islam is a religion which is totally against prejudice and discrimination. There is no place in Islam for prejudice, and there is no place in Islam for discrimination. And if you if you oppose this, what happens? That the Islamic teachings, the Islam actually promotes racial harmony. So what do you understand? What is racial harmony? What is racial harmony? Children, you need to answer very quick so that we may save time.
So racial harmony where races are able to coexist in peace. Different races are able to coexist
Together at the
Yes.
same place.
Yes, sir.
And harmony
With peace.
with peace and happily accepting one another. Right? The existence of the right of the other to live and to exist. Right? That is what we call the racial harmony. With particular reference to the universal nature. What do you mean by universal nature? What is universal nature, children?
It could be something that all of mankind shares in common.
That is also right. That is not wrong. That is also right. We need to understand that Islam is not a religion of a specific caste or specific nation. Islam is a universal religion. As we see that the prophets who came before the Prophet Muhammad, they were not universal prophets. They were prophets sent to the specific nation, specific ummah. As we see, Musa was sent to the Bani Israel. Hazrat Yunus was sent to the nation of Babylon. Hazrat Shu'aib was sent to the nation of Madian. Right? So same thing then the nation of Ad and Samud, right, where Sayyidina Hud and Sayyidina Salih was sent. I mean, and specific nations. But when the Prophet Wasallam was sent in this world, so he was not sent only for the Arabs, but he was a universal prophet. He was a prophet for the whole mankind. Right? So that's why it says that with the reference to the universal nature of the Ummah, that means the teachings of Islam, the teaching of this Ummah, that where they take all the nations along together. They do not discriminate, they are not prejudiced against any other nation, but they take them all together. Right? And examples of racial harmony in Muslim practice. You must have seen that the enemies of Islam in the time of the Prophet Muhammad, who was the one who has hurt the Prophet Muhammad most? Can you any one of you tell me? Personally, who has hurt the Prophet most? Can anyone tell me? I know that you know the answer, but it is not coming into your mind. When I will tell you, you will say yes, 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 yes.
Sir, is it his wives?
Who?
His wives.
His wives?
Yeah,
They hurt the Prophet?
yeah.
How did they hurt the Prophet?
Wouldn't like he talk to them the most?
No. It's not like that. Mhm. Think.
Abu Bakr as-Siddiq,
He hurt the Prophet? तकलीफ देना किसने हुजूर अकरम साहब को ज्यादा
oh,
तकलीफ दी?
the Quraysh,
No, Quraysh is the whole nation,
Hurt
right?
the prophet.
One person.
Abu
Take
Jahl.
one person. Take one person.
Abu Jahl.
No. You know, uh, the person who killed the Prophet's uncle, Hazrat Hamza.
Sir, you're saying hurt or heard?
Hurt,
Abu
H-U-R-T.
Lahab,
Ah, okay.
H-U-R-T, hurt. You know that slave, the Wahshi, who killed Hazrat Hamza in the Battle of Uhud? You don't know about it, right? Yes, children? Very quickly.
No, we don't.
Okay, well, okay. In the Battle of Badr, in the olden days, the ethics of fighting of war was that first of all they used to have individual bouts, individual fights. In that individual fight, there was one leader of the Makkans of the Quraysh in the Battle of Badr who came face to face with Hazrat Hamza, who was the uncle of the Prophet, and he was eliminated by Hazrat Hamza. And that person,
sir, is it Abu Jahl?
no, it is Umayyah, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Umayyah had a daughter by the name of Hinda, who was married to Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan became the leader of the Quraysh after the defeat of the Badr, where most of the leaders were killed. Right? So Hinda had hired Washi, a slave, to take revenge and kill Hamza, which he did it in the Battle of Uhud. Right? And then Hinda came and she mutilated the body, ripped off the belly and took off the liver and cut off the ears and the nose and made the necklace out of it. Right? So this was a very terrible scene for the Prophet. It hurt the Prophet a lot. Right? But when the Prophet ﷺ conquered Makkah, the Prophet ﷺ overcame the enemies in Makkah. He did not take revenge. He was not prejudiced. He did not discriminate because he hurt my uncle, so I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill him. No, the Prophet ﷺ forgave Hinda. The Prophet ﷺ forgave Wahshi, the slave. They both of them accepted Islam and they became the part of the Ummah. So this is one example. It's a universal nature of the Ummah with an example of racial harmony. You see, Hinda she was a Quraysh, fine, but the Wahshi was not a Quraysh. He was a slave, but he became one of the companions of the Holy Prophet, and the Prophet ﷺ loved his companions. Whatever sin, whatever crime they had committed, but once you accepted Islam, you become a brother. Whatever it is, whatever color you are, whatever gender you, whatever nation you belong to, right? Whatever caste you belong, whatever class you are, you become a member of the Ummah, and there should be no prejudice, there should be no discrimination. This the Prophet ﷺ showed with his own attitude. Okay, children, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we got then the 4.4 is multi-faith society and interfaith relationship. Islamic beliefs teachings about relationships with other religions and which help to promote the development of a multi-faith society. You know, multi-faith society where a society where people belonging following different religions, right? They live together, and the obligation of dawah. What do you mean by obligation of dawah? What is the obligation of dawah?
To spread the message of Tawheed, which
Very
was
good. Don't say Tawheed.
appointed by them from Allah.
Yes, the message of Islam, the message of Allah, to take the message of Allah, right? Examples of interfaith relationship involving Muslims in prayer. Now, children, if you are not going to accept another religion in your society, so you will not be able to spread the message of Islam. You will not be able to take the message of Islam to them. If you are going to be prejudiced, you are going to discriminate, you are going to dislike, and you are going to take the others inferior to you. So you will not be able to take the message of Islam to them, the message of Allah to them, because they will not listen to you. They will not listen to you. For them to listen to you, you have to accept them. You have to accept their existence. You have to accept their religion, right? You have to respect the rights of their religion, and you have to accept the traditions of their religion. You have to accept the worshipping places of their religion, right? You have to respect everything. And then that is how you will be able to live with them together, and then you will be able to convey the message of Islam, the message of Allah to them, right? You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created humans for what? What was the purpose of the creation of humans?
To
To
worship.
worship
worship
him.
To worship Allah. That means that the religion is only one. The religion is only one. And what is that religion?
Islam.
Islam. Islam is the religion. That means that everyone should be following Islam. But then why there are many other religions? Even though that Sayyidina Musa, Sayyidina Dawood, Sayyidina Isa, Sayyidina Ibrahim had prayed, Sayyidina Dawood had informed all their people that there will be a prophet which will come after me, and his name will be Ahmad, or he will be Muhammad, the highly praised one, and you should believe in him. Though they left these messages to their nation, but still you do not find people who are not believing. They are Christians, either they are Jew, or they are Hindus, or they are Buddhists, they are Sikh, or any other religion. Why is it like that? They're supposed to be Islam for everyone. Why is it like that?
Sir, could it be because of the innovation and the ignorance of people?
Anyone else? Anyone else? Think of the claim of Shaitan on the in the skies.
Sir, the shaitan said he would misguide people. That's why.
Yes, he would misguide. So if he has misguided, actually, you take the example that in Ramadan, Shaitan is chained. So you are very much close to your Lord. You are in the masjid every time. You are praying, you are making zikr, you're doing all good things because Shaitan is chained. But when Shaitan comes out after Ramadan, you start doing the same thing what you used to do before Ramadan. So Shaitan starts misguiding. So it is natural. It is natural that people would follow different religions. People would follow different paths. It is not necessarily that people would follow only Islam, though that is what they have to, but they would follow because Shaitan had promised, he had vowed that he is going to misguide. But then he also said, except your true believers, I will not be able to misguide them. This is what Shaitan also said. So keeping in mind this vow of Shaitan, we believe that there would be people belonging to different religions, different faiths. So they would be living together. And Islam says that you should convey the message of Islam. Allah says, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal maw'izatil hasana." Convey the message of Allah to mankind. Bil rabbika, of your Lord, bil hikmah, with wisdom, and with beautiful words. What do you understand by wisdom and beautiful words? Huh? What do you understand, children? Quickly. क्या हो गया? क्या हो गया बच्चों? Hello?
You convince them by giving logical proofs of Islam and benefits and praising the religion and stuff.
Look, there is one Hindu, right? For example, there is one Hindu. You tell them, are you mad? Are you stupid? How can you worship something which you have made it with your own hands? It's a made of stone. Huh? You have got no shame. Shame on you. You're such a so educated person. Do you think that he's going to listen to you?
No.
He would not listen to you. Right? So that means because there is no wisdom and there is no beautiful words. First of all, you have to think of a way that you would try to convince him. See the logical things, see the spiritual things, evidences that you can use to convince him. And then when you are going to convince him, you have to be very soft spoken. You have to be very sweet. You have to be very low in tone. There should be no anger. There should be no prejudice. There should be no discrimination. It should be loving the people, even though that he is not of your religion, but you know you need to love him because he is the human. He is the human created by Allah. And it is our responsibility to convey and try to save this human who is at the wrong path. Right? So this is what it means that speaking, convey the message of Allah with wisdom and beautiful words. Then that person will listen to you. He will listen. He might not believe you at that time, but whatever you said, it will remain in his mind. And then when he will be alone, so all these, whatever you said, it will be running in his mind and he'll be thinking about it. That might lead him towards investigation of the religion and the teaching and ultimately accepting Islam, entering in the fold of Islam. You understand this, children?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is what we call the multi-faith society. That there are a lot of benefits, and there are some disadvantages also, but there's a lot of advantages, and that where you can have the chance to convey the message of Islam, the message of Allah to people, right? Okay, fine. So we go to the next, right? Now you see key terminologies. We have got multi-faith society. This is what we have explained now. A multi-faith society is a society which includes people from a variety of different religions, beliefs and practices. You live there together. You can take the example of Dubai. You can take the example of England, whether Christians are there, Muslims are there, Jewish people are there, Hindus are there, Sikhs are there, Buddhists are there, atheists are there, and people belonging to other religions. The Aga Khanis are there, right? The Baha'is are there. Different religions are there. This is what we call the multi-faith society. And everyone has got the right to practice, and their worshipping places are there, their rituals are there, and everyone is respected. Multi-ethnic society. It's a multi-ethnic society is a society which includes people from variety of different races, religions, culture, backgrounds, etc. The difference between multi-ethnic and multi-faith society is that in multi-ethnic, you will find people belonging to one nation. They might be of different color in the nation, but the language will be the same. The tradition will be the same. The civilization will be the same, right? The habits will be the same. The nationality will be the same, right? So these people who share the same tradition, same language, same culture, same background, these are called the ethnic. It's called an ethnic society, where the people belonging to one nation. And multi-faith society means that there are different religions living together, and in that one religion you will find different ethnicities. You will find an African over there, you will find an European over there, you will find people from subcontinent there, people from Middle East, from Australia, from China, from Far East, from different parts of the world, from Scandinavia, from Russia, from everywhere. And all these people form one faith, one religion, that is Islam. Same thing you will find it in Christianity and Judaism. So that's what we call in multi-faith you find different ethnicities, and in an ethnicity you will find people of one tradition, one culture background. Okay, fine, understood this?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Racial harmony, where many different races live together peacefully. This is same like multi-ethnic society. Right, same like multi-ethnic society, right, where multi-ethnic society means this, which is right in front of you, number 2, and number 3, all these people live together happily, peacefully. That's called racial harmony. And number 4 is racism. Racism means treating somebody differently because of the color of their skin or where they are from. Now, people from Africa might be ill-treated because of their color, right? People from subcontinent may be ill-treated by the others because of being inferior to the West. People from the West might be ill-treated because of the grudge and prejudice attitude which people may have against the whites. So different kind of attitudes which you have against the other, that is because of any reason, and that is what we call the racism. And this is not allowed in Islam. Totally, it is forbidden. It is actually not allowed universally. In any religion, it is not allowed. But especially when we talk about Islam, Islam emphasizes that this is totally wrong, totally against the will of Allah, the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? I'll ask you one question, children. You have a parent, right?
Yes.
So you have brother and sisters also. So sometimes you might find that in one family there are 5 to 6 children, and there are 2 of them are different from the other 3 in color. One might be very fair, white, another one will be fair, another one might be dark. Right? And you might find that in this 5, you might find that one daughter got married at a very good place, one daughter got married at a very normal place. And among the brothers, you may find that one brother is very rich, another one is poor, and the other one is a middle class. Right? You must have seen this in the society, haven't you, children?
Yes.
So, are they going to dislike each other?
No,
Why?
because they're siblings.
Because they are?
Siblings, they have things, but they get over it, or they talk it out most of the time.
And they
Because
respect each other.
let me give you a better answer. Your answer is not wrong.
It's
Your answer
human
is
nature.
right.
They would dislike each other.
Jay?
Sir, it's impossible that they won't like each other. There would be times, because it's human nature to dislike each other.
No, that is something else. Even the disliking, sometimes that would not say that they would want the other brother to be killed or to die. They would not reach that point. Still, he would love because it is his brother, because they are all the children of one Lord, one God. Who is that one God? Who is that one God?
Allah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
No, 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 no. The mother. They come from the same mother.
Yes.
So they know
So
that we are all brother and we are all brother and sisters. We might be different. The positions might be different. We may dislike each other for certain reasons, but we would never want the other to die or to be in trouble, because we are from the same God, from the same mother. So this is what Islam says, that if we have all been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are all the children of Adam, one parent, and the creatures of one God. So how can we be racist towards the other? Islam does not teach us this. Okay, understood my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. We go to the next slide. Now I have explained a lot of things about it, so now we can move a bit faster. The advantages. Advantages of living in a multi-ethnic, multi-faith society. Well, we will just go and see one by one, right? It gives a wider variety for people of food, music, culture, religion, knowledge, and clothing, right? This is understood. You find someone wearing Indian dress, someone wearing the African dress, someone wearing European dress, someone wearing tradition dress. Because why? He is living together. He is opting, trying another clothing, another dressing. You know about you get to know about the religious teachings and the traditions of the religion of other people. For example, you are in ELS, you are ELPS. You know that in March there was a lot of rush in the school in one Wednesday. So what happened? That means that it was called an Ash Wednesday, and the Christians had started fasting, and then there was another rush again in the second week of April. You know that it was a Good Friday, right? What is a Good Friday? It is the day when Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, according to them, was crucified. Then on the 17th, you know that there was a lot of rush again, that they celebrated Easter. That means that the Christians believe that Hazrat Isa raised from the dead again. Now you live together over there. You see all these things, and then you try to find out, and then you get to know. You get to know the information about it. So now you know that when do Christians fast? When do Christians celebrate Good Friday and Easter? The same thing. You know. You come to know about the Holy and about the what you call the Diwali also. And you listen to the music also of English music, you listen to the Indian music, your own music, and you taste different food also. So this is the advantage which gives that you get a variety of people, a wider variety for people for food, music, culture, religion, knowledge, and clothing. Fine, understood? Yes?
Yes, sir.
It helps different cultures to understand and tolerate each other, their customs and belief. I mean, if you see someone doing something and say that according to my religion this is wrong, are you going to kill him? Are you going to harm him? No. You are going to, once you have accepted that he is belongs to another religion and he has got the right to exist, the right to live, the same very moment you are accepting that he has got the right to follow his traditions and the teachings of his religion and his beliefs. So you see, and you have tolerance is created in you, comes in you, that when you accept them, it makes life more interesting as you get to meet people of different nationalities. When you meet the people from different nationalities, you get to know about different traditions, about the different customs, about different religions, about different food, about the different way of life, and different languages as well. Right? People are able to explore their faith and beliefs. Therefore, these people can learn from each other their positive things that you can learn from another religion. Right? They learn from your religion, because when you celebrate something, you must be having a Christian friend, a Jewish friend, or a Hindu friend. He will ask why you celebrate Eid, why do you fast? Then you share your information or your religious information with them, so they get to learn. You ask them about the Holi, you ask them about Diwali, you ask them about Christmas, you ask them about the Good Friday, you ask them about the Ash Wednesday, you ask them about the Easter, and you ask them what are the hot cross buns. You know what hot cross buns are, right? You know
Yes,
hot
sir.
cross buns, yes, which are distributed during the Easter, and there are Easter eggs, which are distributed, special eggs, right, during the Easter. So you get to know all these things, and your information is increased, your knowledge is increased. This is the advantage. It makes people realize that everyone is equal. Therefore, people learn to compromise and how to walk step by step with each other in life by respecting them, by respecting their traditions and their religion. And it may also give a chance to learn about new languages. You learn new languages, right? For example, you may learn English, you may learn Arabic, you may learn Chinese, right? You may learn French, you may learn German, different languages over here. Like in our school, you see that people, the school teaches you Urdu, the school teaches you Arabic, the school teaches you French, and English you're already learning, right? So different things you learn helps eliminate prejudice and stereotyping and may eliminate one's narrow-mindedness. When you live together, you are never narrow-minded, right? For example, if you go to Pakistan, let's say we are all from Pakistan. If you go to Pakistan, so you will find people who are totally against the Indians. You will find people who are against the Europeans, who are against the Americans, against the Israelis. They are all against them, right? And by speaking bad against them, they are actually saying that we are better than them because of accepting Islam. Believe me, they are the worst people. They are the worst people because they are not following the teachings of Islam where to accept them. They are not taking the message of Islam to them with wisdom and beautiful words, but rather they are criticizing them and forgetting that while criticizing, he is actually criticizing himself, neglecting the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, the teachings of Islam, of accepting the others and living together. Fine, understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when people get to know each other, another faith discrimination is minimized. You accept them, you sit together, so there will be no discrimination. Fine, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. What are the disadvantages of living in a multi-ethnic, multi-faith society? Mistreatment of ethnic minorities. This is when you are narrow-minded and you ill-treat them, you dislike them, you speak against them, and you do not give the rights. This is when you don't actually know the spirit of the teachings of your religion, right? And this is what it happens. Racial stereotyping, this is the same thing, right? And and then threatening takes place, as well as crimes and extreme hatred. Abusive language could stir up racial hatred, right? This is what has happened, that you start committing crimes against the another nation. This happened actually in the countries where the black people were being governed and ruled by the whites, by the Western society. I'm talking about the time before 80s, 1980, before 1980s. There was a Western colonialism in Africa. So what happened? They used to be ill-treated. They were treated very badly by the Westerners, the people of the land, the black people over there, the Africans. So when the revolution took place, when the struggle for the independence took place, so what happened? They used to ill-treat the whites, and the crimes took place because it was a hatred, because they used the abusive language against the blacks, so the blacks did the same thing when they got the chance. So this is what it happens, right? That you do, when you do not give respect, you will not gain respect. If you give hatred, you will get hatred. If you are abusive, then you will be abused, right? If you do some, if you commit crimes against them, they will be committing against you. But if you do, if it is the vice versa, if you do something good, you respect them, you are not abusive, right? You give them their rights, they will be respecting you. Fine, understood this?
Yes, sir.
Many people may disagree with other faiths or religious views. This is example of our country, right? We do this because of not having a proper Islamic teachings, religion, understanding of the religion. Many people may disagree with other faiths or religious views, right? You cannot disagree with them. If you want to disagree, you have to go to them. Like Dr. Zakir Naik is there, like Dr. Ahmad Didat is there, and many other scholars are there who go to them and they disagree. They go and they convey the message with wisdom and beautiful words and they argue with them. There is a debate, but staying at your place, disagreeing, speaking bad to them, speaking bad about them, cursing them, telling them that they are kafirs and they will go to Jahannam, this is not the right attitude. You will find these examples in our country, right? And this is not right, and these are these disadvantages, right? So this cannot, this should not take place. Disagreement of some people on religious issues or religious shows, a risk of social conflicts due to differences in religious beliefs and practices, ethnic rituals or certain ways of life that may cause a rift between two groups. All these things, these are the risks which exist. Education, children from ethnic minorities or immigrant families would take time in getting accustomed to a new environment. This may get reflected in their academic performances when compared with that of the local children. Now, you see, this is the problem, that when you migrate to another country, so over there you have to follow the system of education over there, the religion over there, and the children are very raw mind, it is there. So they might find difficulties and they cannot understand. So they might find difficulties in adopting the different ethnicities or different faiths. And one another danger might take place, that if the parents do not take care of those children, they might be impressed by another, overtaken by another ethnicity or another religion, and they stop following their religion and they follow another religion. Fine, understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Professional, this means although largely it is a benefit, managing a multicultural workforce can be very demanding. Prejudice of employees may work against the people belonging to a minority. Right? In the workplace also they can be, there is no professionalism. If there is no professionalism, then you will suffer a lot. If you are professional, then you will only look at the performance and the capability of a person, whoever it is. It is a black or white or yellow or green, rich or poor, but the capability, it is there. If you see the capability, the mastery, then you will work with him, you will respect him, right? So there should be professionalism. There should be no racism. Fear of influence. Living in a multi-ethnic and multicultural society may inculcate a fear among individuals or minority groups that that they would lose their original ethnic identities or lifestyle. कोई मुझे इसकी एक उर्दू में कोई मिसाल देंगे? एक प्रोवर्ब है, saying उर्दू में. Miss Benish, are you there? Hello, Miss Benish.
Yes, sir.
यस, इसकी कोई मिसाल देंगे उर्दू में? बच्चों, आप सबसे सवाल है. एक प्रोवर्ब है, एक कहावत है, they would lose their original ethnic identities or lifestyle. कव्वे की मिसाल है, कव्वे की मिसाल है. हाँ बच्चों, कभी सुना नहीं है?
कौवा चला हंस की चाल अपनी भी भूल गया.
हाँ, कौवा चला हंस की चाल अपनी भी भूल गया, है ना। तो कौवा जो है वो हंस हंस बनना चाह, हंस भी एक परिंदा है ना, कौवा हंस बनना चाहता था तो वो ना कौवा रहा ना हंस रहा। तो ये दिस इज वन डेंजर, disadvantage, that living in the multi-faith or multi-ethnic society, the people may lose their original ethnic identities or lifestyle by trying to adopt or adapt different ethnic lifestyles, and you don't even know about your own original identity, right? So this is one danger which is there. That's why it's necessary for the parents that they should always teach the children their language, their tradition, and their identity. It should be taught to them. Their lifestyle should be practiced in the house so that the children know that where do we belong to. Okay, what does Islam say about multi-ethnic society? This is what the Prophet Muhammad said: beware whoever is cruel and hard on a non-Muslim minority, or curtails their rights or burdens them with more than they can bear, or takes anything from them against their free will. I, Prophet Muhammad, will complain against the person on the day of judgment. The narrated by Abu Dawud. You see, children, is it clear? You understand what the Prophet Muhammad is saying?
Yes, sir.
That means that it means what? It means what?
Sir, it means that if you're cruel on non-Muslims or are not treating them fairly, then Prophet Muhammad will complain against you on the day of judgment. He will not be with you.
Children, you understand the Prophet Muhammad is actually disliking this attitude of cursing or being hard on a non-Muslim minority. The Prophet is unhappy with you. And if the Prophet Muhammad is unhappy, then who will be unhappy with you?
Allah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
If Allah is unhappy with you, what will happen?
You will go to Jahannam.
No, you tell me that famous sentence. You say it in English. What do you say in English when किसी को बोलते हैं ना, ये लफ्ज बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं? बोलो ना, सबको पता है ना क्या बोलते हैं। जब आप किसी को डिसलाइक करते हैं तो आप क्या बोलते हैं?
They go to hell.
Go to hell. When you say to someone go to hell, what does that mean? It means that you dislike that person. You're not happy with that person. Right?
Yes, sir.
So if the Prophet is not happy, Allah is not happy. So what is the use of doing something which will take you to hell? So we have to be very careful. We have got a responsibility, children, being a Muslim. We have a responsibility to carry the legacy of Islam. And to carry the legacy of Islam, we need to study Islam. We need to study the Prophet Muhammad. We need to study the life of the companions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. How did they adopted the teachings of the Prophet? How did they adapt it? And then how did they carry it? How did they take them? They took the message of Islam to people. Huh? We need to study all these things. We cannot be proud of being Muslim only, that we are Muslim. Yes, we should be thankful to Allah that we are born in a Muslim family and we are a Muslim. We believe in Allah, we pray to Him. But in fact, by the way of our deeds, are we really Muslim? Are we really Muslim?
No.
We are not, because we are not following actually. We have thrown away, we have rejected the legacy of Islam. So we need to study that. When we will study that, that's when we are going to respect the people. And when we are going to respect the people, that's when the people are going to listen to us. When they are going to listen to us, that's when we are going to be able to convey the message of Islam to them. When we will convey the message of Islam to them with wisdom and beautiful words, they will think about it and they will come to Islam. And this is what the Prophet Muhammad did himself. And that's how the people came to him. You don't find a single person in the world today for the past 1500 years who could say that Prophet Muhammad, God forbid, he was a liar. So you will find no single human. Even the staunchest enemies of Islam, they don't have the courage to say Muhammad was a liar. Muhammad was the one who was a racist. Muhammad discriminated the people. Muhammad instigated the. No one can say this. But rather, when they write about the Prophet Muhammad, they are bound to praise him because of his behavior, because of his following of the teachings of Islam. Fine, children understood this?
Yes.
This clearly shows how Islam is a religion of peace and tolerance. Prophet Muhammad was against any type of discrimination. If they do come to you, now this is here, you see here, if this is Al Quran is saying, chapter 5, verse 42, if they do come to you, either judge between them or decline to interfere. What do you understand here? What do you understand?
Either you judge fairly between them or you decline to intervene because you don't really know the situation.
No, it's not knowing the situation, not knowing the situation. The first part of your answer is correct. The second, you don't intervene.
Not
That
knowing
means
how to handle it properly.
no, no,
He
no,
Or
said
with
you
no,
stayed
no, no,
neutral.
no, it's not that. You let them. I mean, when we say if they do come to you, who is this they? Who is this they? You need to understand they, then you will be able to answer. Who is this they?
Sir, a Muslim
the
and a
disbelief.
No, it's not a Muslim. It's not a. It is a
Non-Muslims.
yes, it is a
Non-Muslims.
non-Muslim.
Yeah.
They come to you. You have to judge. You have to be fair. And then, or you decline to interfere. That means let them decide according to their own religion, their own teachings, so that they should not say that you are discriminating or you are being prejudiced. Right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you an example for this. During the Battle of Trench, okay, listen to this very carefully. During the Battle of Trench, the one of the remaining Jewish tribe, this Bani Qurayza, they broke the treaty of friendship with the Muslims and joined hands with the enemies. But by the grace of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the help of the angels and the Muslims won the battle. And then by the command of Allah, the Muslims had to go to war against the Bani Qurayza who betrayed them, who broke the treaty and joined hands. That means they betrayed them. So the war took place. And when the Muslims, when they saw that they had no other way but to surrender in front of the Prophet, when they surrendered, the Prophet ﷺ asked them, how do you want me to judge upon you? According to my religion or according to your religion? So and who do you want to judge? That you want me to judge upon you or you want someone else to judge upon you? So they chose Hazrat Saad bin Muaz, who was a friend, who was a Muslim, but they lived together before Islam had reached Medina. So they asked for Saad bin Muaz to judge upon them. Then Saad bin Muaz was asked to come, and then Saad bin Muaz asked them, how do you want me to judge on you? According to my religion or according to your religion? They said, according to our religion, that is according to the Torah. And then Hazrat Muaz ruled according to the Torah, and where all the men and the fighting people, those who could fight, they had to be eliminated. The children and the women to be taken captives, prisoners, and the properties be confiscated. This was so they could not blame the Prophet that Prophet was prejudiced or discriminated them, right? because the Prophet asked them that who do you want to be judged by, and by which law? So this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that if they come to you, either judge between them, they be fair, or decline to interfere. Let them be judged according to their own teachings. Okay. Here we see that the Prophet allowed each religion to judge in their own matters according to their own scriptures, as long as it did not stand in opposition to article of the constitution of the country, a pact which took into account a greater benefit of the peaceful coexistence of the society. Fine, okay, understood, children?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, very good. Okay, now let us say this, what it says, once a year. This is, we are talking about Hajj. We are talking about racial harmony. Talking about what? Racial harmony. Right? People from different races. Every year people gather together during the Hajj time. You see people from different ethnicities, not from different religions, from different ethnicities, wearing the same clothes, same dress, the ihram, and the ladies wearing the abayas, covering themselves with dignified clothes, right? Following the same traditions, the same worshipping, the same rites, rituals, and the same traditions, and following the same track, and visiting the same worshipping places, and performing the rites of Hajj all together. This is one of the most beautiful example of the racial harmony. You will not find a better example than this in the racial harmony. Another thing, what is the difference between this gathering of 2.5 or 3 million people in Makkah and 1 million people gathering for a concert, of a musical concert? What is the difference between these two gatherings? Can anyone tell me one specific difference?
Sir, I would go for one of them, which is getting VIP tickets. Like, there are people who get VIP tickets which are close to the stage, so you can enjoy a better view.
Who's answering?
Iman.
Sorry?
Iman.
Iman. That's Iman. No, that is something else. I'm actually saying that, do you think that where there's a musical concert, 1 million people are there, right? 1 million people are there. Do you think that a fight or a quarrel or dispute will not take place?
It will.
It will.
And that the concert is only for few hours. It is only for few hours, and people belonging to different ethnicities will be there, but there will be no peace. There will be some kind of trouble, some kind of fight, some kind of the dispute will be there. And you see, during the Hajj time, 2.5 to 3 million people. These are only registered, and non-registered people are more than that, right? And they spend 5 days together, and you don't find a single case of a dispute between them. Why? Because they all came for the same purpose. That is to seek forgiveness and to submit themselves to Allah. They came for Allah, and they believe that all these, we are all brothers, we are all one nation, one family, one ummah, and one purpose. We are in this world at this place. So this is the spirit of Islam. There is no biggest example than this of the racial harmony on the face of the earth. Fine, understood, children?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in terms of the previous slide, I wanted to ask that if one person is a Muslim and another person is a non-Muslim, which
Yeah.
laws do you use in order to judge between them?
No, it is. Look, there are two different kinds of uh, cases. One, if it is about the religion, if it is about the religion, right? If it is something, a violation about the religion of the crime committed because of the religion, so then there, the camera on. So if it is about, if it is because of the religion, right, then you can give them a choice that whether you want to be judged according to to your religion or according to our religion of the country, the religion of the land. For example, you are in Pakistan. The state religion of Pakistan is Islam. So if a Christian or someone violates something, so you ask him, do you want to be judged according to the Islamic teachings, Islamic laws, or you want to be judged according to the laws of the Bible? Okay, are you understanding?
So, like for example,
No,
there
no,
is
you
feud.
understood. No, you understood this.
Yes, sir. Till
Okay,
what you said, I
but
understood.
if the violation, if the crime, it is not according to it is not because of the Islam, it's not because of the religion, it is the violation of the constitution of the country, which is different. For example, today, the constitution of Pakistan, it's not based on the Quran and Sunnah, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
it's not based. So if you have violated the law of the country, then you are going to be punished. Whether you are a Muslim, you are a non-Muslim, you are going to be judged according to the constitution of the country, right? That is one. But if it is something religious, then you can give him a choice. Then how do you want to be judged? Whether it is according to our religion or it is according to your religion. Fine? Yes. Basit, anything understood this or you want to say something still?
So, like for example, there is a feud between a Christian and a Muslim. So, according to Christianity, what he has done is right, but according to Islam, it is wrong. How would you judge between them?
Give me an example of what is right and what is wrong. Because I don't believe, I don't believe that any religion, whether it is Judaism or whether it is Christianity, right? uh, to kill someone, to cheat someone, to harm someone, to loot someone, to violate someone's privacy, to disrespect someone's religion, to disrespect someone's house, or to steal something. This is all prohibited in all the divine religions. So
So,
what
what
is?
about riba? Usually, like
Huh?
it is
Usually
in
it is usually according to the religion, it is prohibited in Judaism, it is prohibited in Christianity, it is prohibited in Islam. It is prohibited in all these divine religions. If they are taking riba and this interest, usually it is against the teaching, and the Jewish people were strongly condemned by Allah and by Hazrat Musa and the prophets for taking riba, for doing this business. You see, so the teachings, the main teachings of the religion, the ethics of all the divine religions are same. There are no differences. Yes,
right.
if you have committed a crime, if you have committed a crime, then that crime would be seen that whether you have done it against another religion or you have done it against your own religion, against your own people. If it is against your own people, you have got the right to be judged according to your religious teachings. But if it is against another religion, then that is where the court has got the right to judge according to the religion of the deceased person, according to the person who has been violated. And then the law of the country can come into interference. The constitution. What does the constitution says about it? Because
Yes.
killing someone, committing crime, someone, that is not only the violation of the religious teachings, but it is the violation of the constitution of that country as well. Fine, understood?
Yes, sir. Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Fine. Let us read this line very quickly. Once a year, Muslims of every ethnic group, color, social status, and culture gather together in Mecca and stand before the Kaaba, praising Allah together, called Hajj. During Hajj, we all wear the same kind of clothes. Men wear a white dress and a woman wear a abaya or any other dignified clothes. This shows that no matter from which ethnicity or class you belong to, we are all the same in Islam. It is ritual that is designed to promote the bonds of Islam, Islamic brotherhood and sisterhood by showing equal in the eyes of Allah. Even the masjid unify everyone. This is because in masjids, people don't see what ethnicity or class someone belongs to and they all pray together. So कभी वो शेर सुना है जो वो कहते हैं ना एक ही सफ में खड़े हो गए महमूद और अयाज ना कोई बंदा रहा ना बंदा नवाज कभी सुना है
Yeah. Yes, sir, you've told us this.
Yes, that is about Mahmud Ghaznavi. Mahmud Ghaznavi was the ruler who struck India 17 times and the one who destroyed Somnath, right? And he was the ruler, he was the king of Ghazni in Afghanistan. He had a slave by the name of Ayaz who used to stand behind him with a feather of peacock, used to जो हवा करता रहता बादशाह को ठंडी हवा देता, right? And he could not dare to stand next to the king or even come closer to the king. He used to be 3 foot away from the king, right? But when the Salah time used to come, he was not Ayaz and the Mahmud was not a king. They were simply the servants of Allah and they used to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and pray. This is the beautiful picture of the racial harmony in Islam. And namaz is there, the salah is there, when everyone stands together, irrespective of what you are in the society, what ethnicity you belong to, what position you have in the society, what status you have in the society, right? So, but when the salah time comes, you are not standing in the court, you are not standing in a party, you're not standing in the office, you are standing in front of God, who is the Almighty of the whole mankind, who is the master of the whole universe, the creator, the owner. So you are not king in front of him. You are not a slave in front of him. You are just his servant. So this is the beautiful picture of racial harmony. Fine, okay, understood, children?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. These are the issues might occur in the multi-ethnic society. Children, you need to remember these things because they might ask you a question of 3 marks. They might ask you the issues in the multi-ethnic society. 3 different kind of issues might be there. So you can write prejudice, discrimination, violence, extremism, racism, ignorance. These things are there, right? So you need to learn these things. You need to understand. Basically, a multi-ethnic society means relating to various different races. The problems in multi-ethnic society are prejudice. You can be prejudiced. You can discriminate someone. We have talked about it. Violence can be there. Disliking the people. Like sometimes maybe you are not born. Maybe you are not born that time in the 80s. There was people in England and in Europe इसको कहते थे गंजे गंजे कहते थे वो बाल नहीं रखते थे and they used to chase the Asians. They used to kill the Asians. They used to discriminate. They were prejudiced. They used to discriminate. There was a violence against the Asian. They used to kill them, and UK government had a lot of difficulty in controlling them. Ultimately, they did control them, right? So this is what you call prejudice, discrimination, violence, extremism, racism, ignorance. Ignorance is a very big issue. That when you do not have the education and the sense, then you are going to do all these. You are going to be prejudiced. You are going to be you're going to discriminate. You're going to you will be violent. You will be extremist, and you will do the racism also. This is because of ignorance. But once you have the knowledge, you have the understanding, then you will learn how to respect the people, how to accept the people. That being uneducated or uninformed about the other, when you don't have the information. And this happens in our country, children. किसी ने नारा लगा दिया ना किसी के खिलाफ, आपने सुनना नहीं है, आपने सोचना नहीं है कि उसने वाकई में ये काम किया कि नहीं किया। आपने जो ना दाना पानी लेकर उसके पीछे पड़ जाना, उसको मारना है। मारने के बाद जो है ना, तो वो बताएंगे यार उसने ये थोड़ी कहा था, उसने तो ये कहा था, उसने कहा यार पहले बताते ना, हमें क्या पता। ऐसे ही होता है ना? हाँ बच्चों, ऐसे होता है ना?
Yes, sir. Especially in minorities.
हाँ ये होता है, अपने दोस्तों में भी होता है। पहले जो है उसकी पिटाई कर दो, उसके बाद बोलो यार ये ऐसा थोड़ी था, उसने यार पहले क्यों नहीं बताया, मैं तो समझा उसने ऐसे किया, मैं तो तुम्हारी दोस्ती में मैंने ये काम कर दिया। सो दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल द इग्नोरेंस। इसको हम कहते हैं या तो मुकम्मल जाहिल है मुतलक, या तो फिर कहते हैं पढ़ा लिखा जाहिल। ठीक है, बात समझ में आ गई?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा जी, अभी देखते हैं ये क्या है, ये क्या कह रहा है। Here is what people think in a multi-ethnic society. Whites are oppressors. Non-whites are victims. But race doesn't exist. Yet I love racial diversity. And I celebrate our differences.
I have a question.
Yes. Who's I? Who I, please? Yes, who I? Hello? I think someone got disconnected or something like that. Right, and I celebrate our differences because we are all the same, but race doesn't exist. Right, you understood this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then we check this. Briefly explain racism and racism prejudice. Racism, the belief that some race are superior to the other race, and racism prejudice, believing that some people are inferior or superior to the others. Yes, we have this in our society. And Islam condemns both. Islam condemns both. Islam condemns racism and racism prejudice. Islam condemns both. As Allah created the universe and all the people and races that it contains, practicing racism is wrong. Being part of the Ummah means that irrespective of their race, we all belong to one world, wide community. All of you know that what position, what respect Sayyidina Bilal had among the Prophet and among the companions. Do you know that, right? Yes, children? But why? Why did he have that respect? Why did he have that respect? What was the factor in the Prophet and in the companions that they respected Sayyidina Bilal?
Said they were not racist.
But what was that element which did not make them racist?
Sir, he was one of the earliest converts in the religion of Islam, and he didn't have any enmity among others. He didn't have enmity against the people who were racist towards him, and he treated everyone rightfully. So I guess that's one of the reasons.
Why don't you children answer in the light of piety, taqwa, the God-fearing attitude?
Said they respected him because of his piety.
He was respected because of his piety. And the people who respected him, they were also pious, because they knew that we are all creatures of Allah. And the Quranic verse, if you remember the Quranic verse of Surah Hujurat, you remember the verse number 13, children. Many times we have spoken about it. What is the verse number 13 of Surah Hujurat? If anyone can tell me very quickly. O mankind, we have created you
from one male and one female.
Yes, and
the
I have
rest of you,
Yeah. Made you
Yes.
into nations and tribes so that you may
Yes.
know one another.
But so that what is the purpose? To know each other, to know the creativity of Allah, to know the capability of Allah of designing the people, right? But is this is this the criteria of being good in the sight of Allah, better in the sight of Allah, being black or being white, or being
No,
beautiful or
it's
ugly?
no, it's your piety.
Piety. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. So it is the piety of Sayyidina Bilal. It is the piety of the companions. They knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the creature of Allah and we are the creatures of Allah. If He is black and we are white, it is not because of any of our own choice, because we are superior or He is inferior. It is because it is the creativity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? If we want to be better, we have to be pious. You know what the Prophet Muhammad said to Bilal when he returned from from Miraj, from Ascension? Can anyone tell me what did the Prophet ask from Sayyidina Bilal? What did he tell him? Yes, anyone? No? No children?
No, sir.
Okay, bye. The Prophet Muhammad when he came back from the skies and from after visiting Jannah and visiting God, he met Bilal and he said, Bilal, what good actions do you do? What good actions do you do? That when I was walking in Jannah, I could hear your footsteps in front of me. Huh? That means that Bilal was walking ahead of the Prophet in Jannah. What was that? It was the piety. It was the piety. Just 1 minute. Hello?
So you're muted.
Sir, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Sir, please unmute your mic.
Now you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So it was not because of the position of the color. No, no. It was because of the piety. So this is the beauty of Islam actually. Right? That no one is superior. You cannot discriminate. You cannot be racist. You cannot be the racism, the prejudice should not be there, right? But what should be there? The fear of Allah, the consciousness of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and respecting the people. Okay, now we see this one. You see this line over here. It says ways people can overcome racism. They ensure they practice non-racist principles in their lives and set an example. These are all Islamic perspectives. These are all religious perspectives, right? And this is all what the international laws are adopting to maintain peace in the society because they understand that these are the teachings, which are the teachings of the religion, which can maintain peace in the society. Right? So they say they ensure that practice non-racist principles in their lives and set an example. They make people aware racism exists and it is wrong. Right? And they can support organizations that campaign against racism. Right? This is how the people can overcome the racism. Okay, fine. Understood, children?
Yes, sir.
The
Yes.
issues now this is another thing that some issues might take place in the multi-faith society, in a society where people belonging to different religions. If they live together, there might be some problems in that society. Multi-faith society is basically when many different religions live together in one society. So here are the issues caused in the multi-faith society. People may try to convert others to their own religion. Look, there is a difference in the multi-faith society of Dubai, UAE, and the multi-faith society of any other European country. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Dubai is mainly an Islamic country. Like it started off as an Islamic country, but it also accommodates other religions. Whereas European countries are mostly for like the other Christianity or Judaism, and they don't often take. They're not Muslim friendly, you could say.
Okay, Sophia, your answer is not wrong. That is right. But I want something more, something extra. Yes, anyone else was trying to give the answer? Yes. Yes, children. Okay, fine. Look, the difference is that in Europe, you have got the freedom of speech, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Here you don't. Here you don't have the freedom of speech. Here you don't have the freedom of speech. Do you agree to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In over here in Dubai or in UAE, you cannot discriminate someone because of his religion. You cannot do that. You cannot say anything to him because of his following different religion. Being a Muslim, say someone. Being a Christian, say something. Being a Hindu, say something against the Buddhist. You cannot do that over here. It is not, because if you are going to do that, you will be tried and you will be deported. So there is certain kind of fear.
Sir, it's okay.
Fear.
There are concerts.
Huh? It is? Someone was saying something. Hello? Okay, so there is some kind of fear also of losing the job or anything like that, or being imprisoned or being tried, right? So, but in the European society, you have got the freedom of speech. You speak about another religion. You speak those. You speak. You have got you, and you find the people doing so in Europe. So people may try to convert others. They come and they preach. Here also you can preach, but you cannot do it the way it is done in Europe. Yeah, that you can do it. It's your friend, you sit together, or you come to find out, right? So these are the things that happen. Now, interfaith marriages and relationships. This might happen. This happens. People belonging to different religions get married, and this might cause some problems, some issues in the families, because certain families, they do not want their members to go into to marry someone from different faith, different religion. They might think that by doing so, the faith of that person will be affected. The tradition will be affected. You will lose the faith, right? So this is a very big fear, and there is a very big hurdles and protests which take place, right? Before, if both the girl and the boy, they are stick to their attachment to each other, and ultimately they end up in getting married, right? And but there would be some problems in Islam. In Islam, how is it permitted to get married to someone from different faith, different religion? How is it permitted?
Sir, convert them to Islam
If
first.
they revert back to Islam.
There is a girl who is a Christian, or she's a Jew. A girl who is a Jewess or a Christian girl, and the boy is Muslim. So what should they do if they want to get
Sir,
married?
they can marry, sir.
Why?
Sir, I think it is allowed for only Christians and Jews.
Okay. And if the situation is vice versa,
So then it is not allowed.
why?
Sir,
Because
I
the
don't know.
children would carry the religion, so whatever the religion the father is, that religion would be most implemented, I think, to the children. So it must be Muslim offspring.
Okay.
So the children inherit the father's name or it's his bloodline?
Sir,
Okay,
the
fine.
husband is the guardian
Yeah.
of the house, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. Fine. Fine. Yes. So in Islam permits you to get married to the girl who is the follower of a divine religion. The follower of a divine religion. That means that if a girl is a Jewess or she is a Christian, she is the follower of a book of the Torah or Injil, right? The Bible. So a Muslim boy can marry her and she can follow her religion and the boy follow his religion, but the children has to be in the name of the father and should follow the father's religion. Okay, fine, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
but if the situation is vice versa, it means that this marriage is not allowed. A Muslim girl is not allowed to marry a non-Muslim. Maybe that person might be what you call belonging to a divine religion, or maybe a Christian, maybe a Jew, but still it is not allowed because then her children will not follow Islam. They would be following Judaism or Christianity. So this is not allowed in Islam, right? It is not allowed for the Muslim man or Muslim woman to marry any other religion, non-divine religion. For example, Sikhism, Buddhism, Hinduism, you cannot marry. A girl cannot marry and a boy cannot marry a Hindu girl. With the condition only unless that girl accepts Islam. Accepts Islam and then she marries. Then she marries as a Muslim girl. Right? Otherwise, it is not allowed to marry. Those who are marrying the girls from different religion, non-divine religion, they are actually in the teachings of Islam, they are committing adultery. They are committing zina. That is not allowed in Islam. Okay, fine, understood?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, should we have schools for particular religious groups? Should we have? Now, this question it is raised because of the problems, right? And thinking that if we send them to same school, the children might lose the faith, might be they might be influenced to accept another religion. So they would like to have a particular religious schools, right, where the children can go and where they can sit. This is some problems, some issues are there. There have been examples of religious persecutions and hatred. And this is there. It has happened in France. It has happened in England, right, or any other part also. It has happened. It has happened in Spain also, right? So these are the issues. Let us see slide number 14. It says, how can interfaith marriage affect a multi-faith society? It says differences inherent in an interfaith marriage could lead to conflict between spouses or between spouses and extended family, indirectly affecting the children. Differences in belief could also. Assalamu alaikum, मैम मैम मैं आपको कॉल करता हूँ, मैं असल में क्लास ले रहा हूँ. ओके, मैं 10:30 तक फारिग होऊंगा, मतलब 11:45 तक. अभी बस मैं थोड़ी देर में फारिग हो जाऊंगा. नहीं 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 नहीं, कोई कॉल नहीं है. नहीं नहीं, मैं सुनूंगा अभी, मैं सुनूंगा. जी जी हाँ अच्छा मैं कॉल करता हूँ आपको मैं कॉल करता हूँ चलो ठीक 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 ओके 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 Okay, so could lead to a conflict between spouses or between spouses and extended family indirectly affecting the children. Differences in belief could also cause children to be confused and perhaps lost entirely from religion. Right? These are the interfaith marriages can affect because of big different ideologies from the mother's side, from the father's side, and different families, the Muslim family and a non-Muslim family. So the children who are very raw mind and they don't know what's going on, so they may be affected. And because of this problems, the children may stop following the religion, may dislike both the religion, and they might turn away from the religion and become an atheist. Right? Okay, fine. How can living in a multi-faith society can give a rise to the problems? Living in a multi-faith society can lead to extremism because of different religions and different attitudes between the Muslims, Christians, Jews, or Hindus. There are different attitudes in these people. Some have a strong belief in exclusivism, and some believe in the inclusivism. And in a multi-faith society, it is difficult to meet the needs of all believers, practical problems. Secondly, compatible customs where some religions have practices or customs which are difficult to incorporate into society. Fine, okay. We go to this how Prophet Muhammad promoted racial harmony. Racial harmony, we have already talked all these things. We have talked about these things. Racial harmony, when people of different races and ethnic origins live together happily and peacefully. Prophet's teaching on racial harmony, all humans are created by Allah, therefore are all equal. Prophet Muhammad said that no race is superior to the another. This is what the Prophet said in the Hajjatul Wada, the last sermon. He said, no Arab is superior to a non-Arab, no non-Arab is superior to the Arab, no white is superior to the black, no black is superior to the white, and except by piety. Except by piety. I mean, you can be superior because of your piousness. Then Prophet ﷺ said that kullukum min Adam, every one of you is from Adam, and Adam min Turab, and Adam was created from dust. So this shows the teachings, the sayings of the Prophet, that no one is superior to the other, but the criteria of being superior, that is only piety, the goodness, the good things, right? Consciousness of Allah. Prophet Muhammad set an example of equality by having an African as his first prayer caller. This is Sayyidina Bilal radiallahu ta'ala, where many companions had seek permission from the Prophet to give the azan, but the Prophet did not allow anyone, but rather called Bilal and asked him and appointed him the muazzin, the caller for prayer, who was an African. This shows that how the Prophet showed an equality. And Prophet Muhammad emphasized the belief in the Ummah. All people are equal as the teeth of a comb. No Arab can claim merit over non-Arab, nor white over a black person, nor male over a female. This is the hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Right? And this is second last religion and community. What is community cohesion? What is community cohesion, children? Very quickly.
It's
So we're
interpretation between a community, like how closely they can work together.
Cohesion means unity, community unity, unity between the unity between the communities, right? Religion and community cohesion. Okay. This is the last slide. Muslim work for social and community cohesion because, and Muslims work for social and community cohesion because Muslims are taught in the Holy Quran and by the example of the Prophet to be tolerant and give rights to the others. That means that you cannot violate someone's right. This is what the Quran has strictly said. Whether it is a Muslim, whether it is a non-Muslim, it has to be human, and you cannot violate the rights of human. Can you violate the rights of animal?
Sir, to animal even
No,
have
sir.
rights.
You cannot even violate the rights. You cannot violate the rights of anyone. Once a camel came and complained to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ about excess work and less food from the owner. And the Prophet ﷺ called the attention of the owner that you are earning because of this camel, and you are not giving, you are exerting a lot, you're putting a lot of pressure on him, and you're giving him less to eat and drink. You should not do that. You have to keep the right. So Islam does not allow to violate the rights of any creature, can be human or any other creature. Right? You have to be the Muslims believe that Allah created all human beings. When Prophet Muhammad went to Medina and set up the first Muslim state, he established a constitution which is known by the name of Misaq Medina. Right? Constitution that included all the different groups, Jews, pagans, and Muslims, and ensured that each group had rights and responsibilities that contributed to the well-being of the society. Children, this thing, it is there in your specification too. The society established by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in Medina. There's a topic in specification too. Understand? And I have shared the document for this in the Teams. Okay, children? It is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
kind,
sir.
kind children. This is the last slide. Thank you very much. Is it clear? Understood the topic?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
Any doubt? Any questions, Beta?
Sir,
Okay.
Please send a PDF.
Sorry?
Can you please send the PDF for this?
Yes, I'm going to share it. I'll share it. I'll share it. Okay, I'll share this. Right? Okay, Miss Benish, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Was it okay? Is it fine? Anything you need to add?
Nice. No, sir. It was fine. It was good.
Okay, fine. Right. So inshallah tomorrow, Miss Mamoona is going to conduct the class. I will not be present in the class, children, tomorrow because I have to go for the Khatme Quran, and I have to make the dua. I have to lead the prayers at one of our family friends. We have to go every year. So tomorrow is the Khatme Quran, so I have to be there. Right? So Miss Mamoona and Miss Benish will be there, and Mr. Tariq will be there to finish the last topic. I might join you through my cell phone. Okay, children?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me stop the recording, and Miss Benish, you will download the software, and